Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexis Green, and if you are new here, I am so grateful that you have stumbled across this video. And so today I'd like to talk about perfectionism. Now that word gets thrown around quite often these days. Is it really as beneficial as we may think? So while perfectionism in its entirety can be hard to completely and concisely explain because there's just so many various aspects to it. In this video, I will be talking about 3 general types of perfectionism and how they may be reducing the amount of productivity that you can do. And so people abide by 3 different types of perfectionistic standards, and that is perfect context, perfect quality, and perfect quantity. And so the first one is perfect context, and with this one, it reduces the number of situations in which a person will take action. And so we will be using an example of working out, let's say. And so with perfect context, it can be broken down into smaller sections. And so we'll break it down into 3 smaller sections. And so the first one would be location. Now, where we are located naturally has a lot to do with our actions. And so a very disciplined, determined person would go and find any place to go and work out, but there are a group of people who would only work out, let's say at a gym or maybe in their room or something like that. And when I am saying this information, I am not judging in any way whatsoever. You do you, but I'm just bringing out the fact that it can really reduce the level of productivity someone has. It can reduce it by a significant amount. And so that is location. The next one is time. Are you only willing to do something before or after a certain time? Are you only willing to work out before 9 a.m.? Well, what if you happen to wake up at 10 a.m.? When it comes to time, people only set certain actions for certain times, and that can also be very limiting too. And the last one is resources. So without resources, certain people may not be willing to take action. So for example, when it comes to exercising and working out, are you only willing to work out if you have, let's say, exercising clothing or exercising equipment? If you don't have those, would you not do it? And that can also reduce your level of productivity as well. As a result, that is perfect context. And so the next one is perfect quality. And with perfect quality, this is the one that most people know about, most people recognize. People with this type of perfectionism are driven mad by their very large desire to have perfect qualities. And so this can mainly be seen in the workplace or maybe at home. For example, you have a parents that only accept, perfect grades or perfect cleanliness. It can be seen throughout school, throughout work, at home, just so many various environments in which, you try to maintain this perfect quality about yourself and your surroundings. So that is number 2, perfect quality. And number 3 is perfect quantity. Perfectionism by quantity means not being satisfied with an action if it falls under a certain threshold. People seem to think of perfectionism in terms of quality, having a perfect social interaction, keeping and maintaining your hair to be perfect, keeping your desk spotless, and things like that. However, the perfectionistic mind has a more damaging trick than quality or context, which were the 2 that I just previously described. And so it's so universally accepted that it evades our radar, and that is perfectly sized accomplishments. This part of perfectionism hasn't been adequately addressed because it's not obvious that the goal size is one of the strongest indicators of perfectionism. Pretty much everyone is unknowingly trained to be perfectionists depending on the goal size of the people surrounding them. There are a lot of goals that we collectively think is the perfect way to go. Every single normal goal is perfectionistic in terms of quantity, and almost all people have goals like that, like losing 50 pounds in 6 months, or reading a book every week, making 6 figures in a year, and etc. Now, these aren't impossible goals by any means, but they're perfectionistic because they imply the smaller progress isn't good enough. There was a great example that I read comparing goal size and pole vaulting. In this example, it's described that in a perfectionistic perspective, failure is anything underneath the bar and success is anything above. It doesn't matter how high you get, it only matters if you get over the bar. This polarized view of goals is supposed to motivate us to reach the mark and even surpass it, but it's an inferior strategy that worsens the perfectionistic problem. Perfectionists do not accept a small amount of progress or value. They only want big, smooth, perfect wins. So now that we've looked at different types of perfectionistic standards that permeate our world and how they can mess with our productivity, the next question one may have is, and what are the underlying reasons that drive us to perfectionism? And if you are wondering that, that will be one of my upcoming topics in one of my videos. So make sure you stay tuned. And so with that, we are done with this video. I hope you found some useful information in it. When it comes to perfectionism, it really can limit the amount of progress that you make. Any amount of progress is still progress in my eyes. Any accomplishment, no matter how big or small, is still an accomplishment. And so with that, if you found this information useful, give this video a thumbs up for me. In the comments down below, let me know, are you a perfectionist? And lastly, if you're new here, make sure you click the subscribe button, because I'm here each and every week to uplift you all and help you become the best person that you can be. And so with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.